Welcome back, everybody, to the Even Your Dynasty show.
We just got breaking news in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Even Your Dynasty show. We are back with our trade deadline recap. Only a day late because some people decided to cut some cords up here, up by where I live, and we were down internet for a good little over 24 hours. So that was real fun.
We had Caveman Cody,
yeah,
for about 32 hours, give or take.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Got to party like it was 1999 again, and yeah, it was a good time. You all know when the internet went down for anybody that watched the show on Wednesday night, because Dan got left solo for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, thanks for that.
yeah. It's I think we agreed it was Glenn's fault. He reposted our stream, and all of a sudden my internet crashed out. So
yeah, see, we can blame Glenn, guys.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you, Glenn. It was awesome.
What's up, Addy? Nice mod badge.
Yeah, it's fancy. We got a couple mods in here nowadays. Because last week we had some troublemakers in the chat, so we added a few people in there to keep the peace, because especially when there's just two of us, it's not always the easiest, but we're not going to worry about that. It's a good day to talk Giants baseball. They actually won a game. Yes, I am unfrozen. I should just like freeze myself like in the middle of this at some point and just go dead still. I panic ensue.
I already don't have a ton of energy as it is, so chat, be prepared for that. But I couldn't handle a scare tonight, bro.
Yeah, I think Dan and I are operating on a combined 7 hours of sleep right now.
If we're lucky, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but we're gonna definitely break down the two big trades. Obviously, if you guys want to hear about the Rodgers one, we'll touch mainly on just how it pertains to like the entire deadline. So we're going to mainly focus on the Doval trade and the Mike Yastrzemski trades. If you do want our breakdown on the players they acquired for Rodgers, we can make a couple comments, but the big breakdown was done on Wednesday. So make sure you go back and check that if you didn't see it already. But yeah, so the Giants won today, so that's a positive. It's only the third time since the break, or since the All-Star break, and we're not going to go too deep on that. The reality is they're pretty far out. There's a reason why this team sold. Now, that being said, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest if the team plays like above 500 baseball coming in the rest of the way. Maybe it should shock me after watching them for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But yeah, it's the big news obviously was they sold Doval, they sold Yaz, didn't end up moving Verlander. That was a little bit of a surprise. To me, I thought that one was foregone conclusion that he would be gone for whatever someone gave. It might have been just cash. Honestly, I thought the Giants might eat part of his contract and just get out of some of it. I was a little shocked on Wilmer. I thought a team would, some contender would want him as a bench piece, and he's only making like $1 million the rest of the year. So I was a little shocked there, but they did move Doval. They did move Yaz. I really like, we'll go through each of the players that they received there. I liked what they got for Yaz. The Doval one, I think we all felt like they should have gotten a higher quality prospect possibly, but they did kind of go quantity over quality on that one. They got 4 players for him. So we'll break down those guys. But yeah, so what are your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah. So firstly, love the value got for Yaz. We'll break that down. The Doval trade has a lot of fans kind of questioning the return in specific. Some, fans feel like we could have got a lot more. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and one of those prospects in particular, Jesus Rodriguez, Buster Posey absolutely adores. So we'll dive more into the numbers and whatnot there. But just in general, I mean, we kind of saw this coming to an extent, especially after the skid that the team hit. So we saw them, potentially selling. This felt more of like a light sell for, the reasons that you point out. If it was going to be a full blown sell, they would have probably given up Verlander, probably would have given up Wilmer, guys like that are also in the last year of their deal. But at the same time, it's kind of like what we pointed out for, weeks leading up to this, that we believed that the right thing to do, given the state of the team, was maximize on the value of some players that are likely going to be gone next year. And they did that with Rodgers and with Yaz in particular. So I love the value they got for Rodgers. We went over that the other day. Love the value with Yaz. I believe we got their 20th prospect from KC. And then Doval got 3, I believe, top 25 prospects. So we'll have the breakdown for all of them. But, you and I kind of talked about it privately before we went live with Doval. And the truth is, guys, Camilo Doval is still a work in progress to an extent. Like, yes, he's got a really, really high ceiling. We've seen him at his absolute best, look like a complete menace on the mound. And the next day, you never know what you're going to get. You might get 17 sliders in a row and a blown save. So it's like, we kind of are at a crossroads here where it's like he's still a work in progress. And you watch the box score tonight with the Yankees game, and that proves the point right there. So I think there was a chance you kind of got more for Doval if you made a push to trade Doval earlier before all the relievers went. But after that, I do think you got pretty good value, relatively speaking. And you got a couple guys that can make a legitimate impact on this team in the very, very near future. So again, it's kind of like what we talked about the other day. In my opinion, our farm system is very, very talented in the lower levels, not so talented in the upper levels. This, in my opinion, just kind of balances out the system entirely. And like Nick said, the truth be told, Doval isn't on, a Mason Miller level or Duran level of a reliever. So the value you got for him is definitely solid. So overall, I'm happy. I mean, I got no complaints. I think they did the absolute right thing. And I'm excited to see what some of these guys can do and contribute, because you definitely beefed up your system a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with Doval, I think the one thing that as Giants fans, especially the last 2 years, we've all been frustrated watching him go out there. It's a coin flip every time he goes out there, whether or not he's ever going to have his fastball or his cutter. Like sometimes, like Dan said, he just goes out there, he'll throw like 2 of them and then just completely abandon it. So you're trading a guy that at times is a 1-pitch closer.
Yeah.
And then he obviously has his, mental lapses, his doesn't check the runners. He's worked on that this year a bit, but
the pitch clock,
the issues with the pitch clock that have been constant. There's a lot of red flags with him. And as much as we want to sit there and be like, oh, he's an all-star, like he should have gotten something. But even this year, I mean, he got off to that roaring start at the beginning of the year, and he's kind of looked probably closer to the guy that he was last year than he has the guy he was in April for the last month or so. So it's tough. Like he was clearly the weakest guy that got traded. And could the Giants have held on to him and when they didn't get the offer that they wanted necessarily and said, you know what, we'll try and move him in the offseason? I mean, possibly, but he's coming up on his second arbitration year. That salary is going to nearly double next year.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 years left. He's going to make probably $8-9 million going into next season. And what happens if he implodes and looks like the guy he did last season? You're not going to get anything for him at that point. So it's a tough situation. I think they could have possibly gotten a better quality prospect than, Rodriguez being the top end. But we mentioned they went quantity over quality, and that doesn't mean they didn't get guys with potential. Rodriguez looks like a guy that has some upside. He can definitely hit. You don't hit 300 plus in the minors every single year if you don't have some kind of ability with the bat at every level. And Vreling's got some nice stuff from what I've seen. Harber, he was an undrafted guy, but he absolutely has crushed A-ball in high A. He's dealing with some kind of injury right now, but he is a bit older for the level, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what he does. And then the talk is that the guy that they got down in the Dominican League, De La Rosa, he might be the best of the bunch, but he's 17 and he's in, he's in the Dominican League still. So it's a huge projection with him, but it's not to say they didn't end up getting a good return. I felt like they got better players for Rodgers, which is interesting given that Rodgers was an expiring contract. But it also makes sense just when you look at what each guy has done, the body of work they've provided over the last 2-3 years, or even more, going back 4 years. I mean, Rodgers, as much as he could frustrate us at times, has been one of the most consistent relievers in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's plain and simple what it comes down to. That's why he got more. Mets trying to make a playoff push. They went all in for him.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
And but the Yankees, they wanted Doval, but they weren't so desperate. And I think the Giants came down to, especially after they got Bednar, which he had a rough one too today, but especially after they got Bednar, I think the Yankees weren't as desperate, and the Giants just made the decision of it's not worth it to hold on to him for a few more months. We're just going to do it and cut ties, and you just get rid of the head case, and he's not their problem anymore.
Exactly.
That's kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And Alex kind of pointed it out as well, which we briefly mentioned, but I think they should have traded Wilmer. You think we should have traded Wilmer? They didn't. Maybe he didn't have a market. I feel like for the price tag should have, but should have, would have, could have. Now he might go in the IL, is what it is. But given given the state of the team, the talent that you acquired, and the potential more than anything that you brought in by trading these 3 players, really could be beneficial for the team. It's not completely waving the white flag for this season, and it also kind of sets you up for success in the future and as potentially as early as the end of this season and going into next season. So, I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah. George says Doval is much better than this year. Disagree. The pitch clock is not a problem this year and much better holding runners on. Yeah, I mentioned he's been better at holding runners on. It's always something that's plagued him. And the whole pitch clock thing, I don't think the pitch clock this season impacts him as far as, he's not running out the clock anymore. They're not having the issues where Bailey's having to call time or that he's getting a violation. But where I feel like the pitch clock impacts him is his command and the stuff overall. Because it just feels like, and we saw it with Randy when he pitched in Coors that one game where his, pitch count got up. The pitch clock, it keeps him moving faster than he wants. And it feels like he just he gets a bit erratic. He's one of those guys that clearly wants to slow the game down. And he gets a little erratic, and at times his slider has lost effectiveness this last season or so. So that's where I think it impacts him. It's more the stuff overall and not the, brain farts that he was suffering last season.
Yeah, I think it just kind of goes hand in hand with the whole mental aspect of his game. So more than anything, Brandon asked a good question. Are they better now than before the trade? That's TBD. It really is. Yeah. I mean, by making these moves in general, for the big league team right now, that's to be determined, because now you're going to get an extended look at some of these younger players in Matos and McRae in right field, which is something that the two of us have been talking about. And that could potentially, make or break the season to an extent. You can either be upgraded from the production that you're getting out of Mike Yastrzemski, or you can get more or less the same or downgrade. I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, but at least you're going to get the extended look that you've needed. And organizationally speaking, you beefed up your farm system, which was pretty mediocre last year. I mean, all the experts had the Giants, prior to the 2024 draft, ranked as one of the worst systems in all the big leagues. And now after this trade deadline, you could argue they're in the 15 through 20 range. So you've jumped up that much just from the draft last year, draft this year, and this trade deadline. I mean, 5 of the guys they traded for are already in their top 25? something like that. So
yeah,
about
at
5
least
of
on
them.
MLB.com.
Yeah.
We'll see what Baseball America does. Probably in the off season, but
Yeah. So organizationally speaking, I mean, you absolutely improved, but product on the field to be determined.
Yeah. And you could tell they really focused on the upper levels with a lot of these guys. They're pretty thin in AAA, especially. They're pretty thin in AA. And of the 7 prospects that they acquired, 4 of them or 3 are in AAA and 1's in AA. And then they got 1 in high A, 1 in A ball, and then 1 in the Dominican. But they really beefed up the upper levels with this. And it does feel like they chased more depth because they have been pretty thin this year and last year, especially. And I think they feel pretty confident in like the high upside guys they have down in the lower levels right now. And I don't fault them. I'm very high on a lot of the guys in the lower levels, as everybody here that watches our minor league updates and stuff knows. Like I've constantly said the Giants' talent right now is down in San Jose and Eugene. And, some of it's trickling up like Bo Davidson and Scott Bandura sneaking up to AA, but a lot of the big time talent is down in the lower levels. So, Nick said Jordan's back today, which is nice to see. The last thing I'm going to touch on, one last thing regarding Doval, because somebody, let's see, Alex mentioned it. And this is actually, it's not even just Doval. This is all pitchers. I don't know why more of them don't utilize us more. That pitchers need to adjust the clock and find new ways to slow down the game if it's possible. It's absolutely possible. There's a built-in way to do it right now, and that's just to say I don't like the baseball and throw it to the dugout, and they reset the clock every time. So I don't know why more of them don't do it. So
you're not wrong.
Or the phantom pitch clock issues or pitch comm issues.
Oh, I can't hear. Yes.
Yeah, it's someone turned it to German. I'm not understanding it. So
no. And another name that nobody's talking about, Buteau. I mean, he has a sub-3 ERA this season. Now he's sliding right into our bullpen. So you didn't completely, shoot yourself in the foot by trading away Rogers and Doval. Obviously, Buteau's not on their level as far as ceiling is concerned, but he is a damn good, consistent, average to above average reliever that's going to give you some quality appearances. So that's a name that hasn't really been talked about as much. He came through today, gave up 1 run, but it was on a sac fly with the runner that was already on base when he came in, so it doesn't go against him. But I mean, just in general, he looked pretty good. So like I say, you're not waving the white flag on the season in any way, shape, or form. This team has too much talent, as weird as it sounds, but 6 of the guys in the lineup are good players. So you're not completely waving the white flag, in my opinion. And then these guys that are coming up, you got Kai Tang starting tomorrow. My dog, he was killing it in sack. So
he's been nasty.
He's been absolutely nasty
last month or so.
And the rotation has been a major question mark. If he steps it up, I mean, you're in a good place right there.
Yeah.
Wisenhunt too, if he goes on a heater, I mean, you got some potential here. So, hey Jenny. So yeah, hopefully, this is a sign of things to come as far as the win today. And carry the momentum over. You beefed up your farm system. You're not going to take a complete L if these guys were to walk at the end of the year, if you held on to them like we've done in years past. So, all in all, I mean, we got to be kind of positive and optimistic about the potential outlook of this trade deadline.
Agreed, Liam. And hopefully we've got a few more, with guys like Tidwell coming in. Yeah. I think Birdsong's issues were not innings related. It just felt like he lost his command. Roop, I'll feel pretty good about going pretty deep into the year come next season. Once he's built up a bit. Same with Wisenhunt. That was the issue in the last regime. I mean, it's something we constantly harped on, where they didn't exactly build these guys up and they'd have them limited to 100 to 130 innings. And we get later in the year and these guys are all gassed. And they just weren't prepared to throw a major league workload.
Yeah. So how about this, Cody? Dive in a little bit more on the guys that we got in exchange for Camilo Doval? I want your thoughts. I know you worked hard all day while I was dying, pulling some info. So I'm sure a lot of the chat would like to know what expertise you came out with. And yes, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, so starting off with Jesus Rodriguez, he's 23. I'm just going to kind of run through what they've done. The reality is I haven't watched a lot of these guys outside of scrambling for a few, checking out a handful of at-bats today, seeing what they've been doing, but this is kind of what I've gathered on each guy. Jesus Rodriguez, he was the 25th ranked prospect in the Yankee system. He has been added to the Giants' top 30 in MLB pipeline. As I mentioned earlier, Baseball America doesn't really update their stuff right away. He's still showing in the Yankee system on there, so we'll be interested to see where he ends up there. But he's a catcher, plays third base. I think he's played first base and left field in the past. He has been assigned to Sacramento. He's a 2018 international signee. I mentioned it earlier, he's hit pretty much 300 at every level. I think 294 is the worst he's hit at any level at any point. This season in AAA, he's in 362 plate appearances, sitting 317 with an 831 OPS, 5 home runs, 22 extra base hits, and 16 stolen bases, which is interesting because they give him Baseball America gave him a 30 grade on Run Tool, which is about as low as you'll ever see given out. I don't think I've ever actually seen a 20 grade. I'm curious what it would take. I think a guy might need like one leg to get that in from Baseball America, but yeah, they don't think he's got any speed, and yet he has 16 stolen bases. So he just might be one of those savvy guys that gets like the greatest jumps you've ever seen. Excellent first step, 10 cone or what is it, the 10-yard split?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I thought that was pretty interesting. The big thing with him, and we'll pull
the comments. I don't know if you see this.
I have it covered up that way I'm not looking grout. Yeah, Wilmer's a 20. Yeah, there you go. The big things for him, he's got a 12.7% walk rate, 15.6% strikeout rate, and a 129 WRC plus in AAA right now. You can kind of see the big stuff here. It's actually really interesting that he walks as frequently as he does, because he doesn't swing and miss a lot, and his chase rate's actually kind of high. So he's got a little bit of the Mato syndrome in that regard. It's one of those things that I can see why they really like him. I do think that he doesn't have a ton of power as far as that would be playable in Oracle. Like a lot of where his power is going to be is just extra base hits in general, probably more doubles than home run power with him, especially if he doesn't get that pull rate up a little bit, because if he's trying to go oppo in Oracle Park, good luck hitting it out of the yard. Yeah. But I think the main thing for him, like, he's going to have to develop behind the plate. From what I've seen, really good arm. They gave him a 60 grade arm. He's thrown out 36% of base stealers, which is pretty good percentage nowadays, especially with the modern rules. But the big thing for him, he's going to need to stick a catcher, though, if he's going to really be a big time hit, because third base is questionable for him defensively. And he, even if he had a pathway to playing first base, which he really doesn't, because Bryce Eldridge and Rafi Devers exist, he wouldn't really have the power for that, I think.
Yeah.
Unless we're trying to duplicate Wade. So appreciate you, Glenn, Ryan. Thank you, fellas. Yeah, so that's kind of what we gathered there on Rodriguez. I put together this put some highlights for everybody to see. He's got a very interesting stance, which I've always been one of those guys that, like, I don't really care about how ugly the stance might be, when he sets up or how he presets, because the reality is, you see as the pitch is coming, he sets the hands in a normal, he gets loaded up like normal. So, but it is kind of a weird, a weird stance. Oh God,
it's definitely San Fran, funky.
Blake Sabol, but right-handed. Except for much better bat to ball skills.
I was going to say, except this guy can actually make contact.
Yeah. So,
But Buster had so many good things to say about him, though.
Yeah. I think Buster's just trying to get hitters. Like, that's the thing. Like, he's not upset chasing after launch angle. He's not chasing after guys that, they walk a ton, but they strike out a ton, and he's just like, I want guys that hit.
I mean, he's another player that fits what Buster's obviously been searching for. I mean, he showed it in the draft. He's been showing it through these acquisitions. I mean, he wants, like you said, he wants guys that make contact. Doesn't care about all the other stuff. So this fits that profile perfectly. So,
yeah. So that's what we've got for Rodriguez. I'm going to jump right over to Tristan Viling. He was the other one. Now, it was actually interesting. Viling was rated 19th in the Yankees system. He was actually rated higher than Rodriguez. But then when they moved him over, he's not in the Giants' top 30. And he was unranked on Baseball Americas. So I'm not really sure where the discrepancy showed up with him. Yeah, from what I've seen with Viling, I don't have the stat sheet like I had with Rodriguez, because they don't unfortunately produce that other than just in AAA, and Nick came in clutch with the A-ball Florida League that they'll do it too. But we do have some highlights. Big thing I've noticed with Viling, he's a third-round pick in 2022. He's 24 years old, right-handed pitcher. They assigned him to Richmond this season, 46 innings, 4.5 ERA, 1.52 WHIP. The control's clearly an issue. Doesn't strike out a ton of guys. 8.22 per 9. 3.52 walks per 9, 1.17 home runs per 9. That's been kind of the big one for him. Struggling to keep it in the yard a little bit. His slider, or that sweeper slider that he has, it is pretty nasty. The velocity is like low to mid 90s. I think I heard he touched 96 at times. So that's kind of what we've seen there. The big things for him: fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. They're all actually positive rated pitches, but the control is like 45 is what Baseball America gave him on the control. So that's kind of what I gathered on him. I watched a little bit of his starts. You could definitely see a little bit of the erratic command, but and it's pretty solid arm though, stalled stuff. So I can see the upside there if they can harness it. If anything, he might make a decent reliever, like a middle relief option.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which, considering you just traded a reliever, if we can pull one or two of those out of it, it's not really a bad trade at that point.
Absolutely.
So, and then Parks Harber, he was the third player that they acquired for Camilo Doval. Undrafted player. This is actually kind of an interesting one.
I was just going to say, don't show this to a bull. There's a lot of red here.
Yeah, this was A-ball. Keep in mind, he's 23 years old in A-ball. Like, this is kind of what you expect one of those guys to do. But he absolutely crushed it. Got quickly promoted up to high A, where he, in 152 plate appearances, was hitting 326, 884 OPS, 3 homers, 15 extra base hits, a 156 WRC plus. Absolutely was dominating that level. Unfortunately, suffered an injury. I don't know what the injury was, because lovely minor leagues doesn't like to share that info very frequently. 10.5% walk rate, 23% strikeout. It's kind of the showing up and just dominating low A and high A. It reminds me a little bit of Bo Davidson. He's not as athletic as Bo. I'm not comparing the tool sets that they have, but just like the production, it's a little bit like that. So that is pretty interesting. Kind of just an intriguing player. He's not rated on any of the top 30s. He was primarily playing third base and first base, and trying to think if I'm missing any info on him here. Seems like primarily third base from what I saw. He only started a handful at first. So,
hey, the soda report. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's got great contact skills, it looks like. So, a little old for
Yeah.
that level. Do we know where he's going to start with us? I mean, I know
He got
he's
assigned to Eugene, but he's injured. So,
yeah, I was going to say he's injured. So
yeah, it's hard to know when they're gonna have him playing again. And but it said assigned to Eugene, so we're gonna roll with that until until otherwise.
yeah, all good.
Seems like he's in the Hipwell, Jake, and Christian mold. Hey, both those fellas had a great day today.
Yes, they did.
Friends
of the show, good guys.
I haven't checked what JC's done since he was 2 for 2 with a homer and a double. I saw that, and
yeah, he's killing it lately.
Yeah,
I think if I'm not mistaken, Hipwell just hit a bomb. Yeah, he did. He's a double shy of the cycle right now.
Yeah, Ricky was telling us, which that reminds me, Giants fans, it's 58 says Ricky's still in. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I'm going to sound like an idiot. But yeah, he's still on. Yeah, he's still on assignment down in I don't know. Is he in Mexico?
He's we're not going to dox his location, but he's on a tropical island somewhere. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I could have just sent people to the wrong place. It's fine.
Yeah. He's in Tijuana.
Yeah. Guys, does it matter if Rodriguez has power? Buster focusing on line drive gap hitters for Oracle? No, it definitely doesn't matter, especially if he's catching. I would argue that a third baseman or a first baseman, you still need to get power production somewhere in the lineup. But because, even looking at a guy like Pablo, who was, he wasn't like a high powered third baseman, but he was still hitting 15, 20 a year. So, he doesn't need a ton of power, but he needs some. And as a catcher, I would argue he doesn't really need that much if he's hitting for a high average and can at least be a decent defender.
It's not like these guys need home run power, kind of like what Cody hinted at earlier. Especially, I mean, we've been preaching this for 2 years now on the show. We would love guys that can just drive the ball into the gap, take advantage of the, oversized dimensions of Oracle Park, get towards the top of the league in extra base hits. We're looking for guys that can do that. So as long as he's got the power to drive it in the gap, especially in timely situations, get on base early. I mean, that's what we're really looking for. So that's why it's great to see Buster prioritize bat to ball skills after, I'd say the last draft or two, the prior regime really prioritized power. I mean, you can see that with guys, Bryce Eldridge, Dakota Jordan, guys like that who just got like a ton of pop. It's nice to kind of get balance it out with some guys that got great bat to ball skills. So as long as they've got enough power to drive it into Triples Alley, man, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Like, remember that when in Devers' first game, he had that RBI double that he hit like 110 into the gap, just split the gap. And it was just like, holy crap. Like that ball just exploded into the gap. Like that's obviously that's the highest end of that. But like, that's what we're hoping for. I mean, we've seen Lee hit a few balls like that where he's just, he's not going to hit a ton of homers, not at Oracle, unless he learns to hit it more down the line. But I just want guys that can go line to line, go to the gaps, and just get the ball to the wall in some capacity. So, like, that's the ideal. So, yeah, 100%, Jeff. I don't really care about the home runs with a guy like Rodriguez. I do care about extra base hits. I don't want a guy that's just hitting singles the entire season. But the home run totals have never been my primary focus. It's been the extra base hit totals. So, and then we'll touch on the last player they acquired for Camilo Doval. I don't have any highlights for him. Sorry, everybody, because unfortunately you're not getting many highlights out of the Dominican right now. But Carlos De La Rosa, he's 17 in the Dominican. He was a 2025 international signee for the Yankees. Got nice, cool $400,000 from them. Mainly a 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, changeup. All three are positive, are plus rated. I think he's got a 55 on the fastball, 50 on the slider, 55 on the changeup. Depending on where you look, if you look at, I think Pipeline might have been even friendlier. No, that's what they gave him as well. And then a 50 on the control. So overall good stuff there. This is actually, his numbers are pretty crazy. It's pretty funny. The ERA is super high, but then you look at like the Ks per 9, the walks per 9, the home runs per 9, and it's kind of weird how his numbers are as bad as they are. He's in 22 innings. He's got a 5.32 ERA and a 1.45 WHIP. Opponents are hitting 278 off him right now, but he's also striking out 14.73 per nine and only walking 2.05 per nine. And he's given up 0.41 home runs per nine.
Is it bad luck or what is
That's
it?
what I mean. I'm like, it's a little interesting. And as a 17-year-old, his fastball has hit 96 to 97, they've said. And supposedly the spin is really good on his off speed. That's about the information I've seen. Haven't gotten to really see him throw yet, other than like one slow-mo video that I found on X earlier. But like I said, there's some talk that he might end up being the best of the bunch. So, and he's a lefty.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Keep our eyes on him.
Harris asked, any one of these players from the trade gets a call up this year? Are you talking about the Doval trade in particular or the deadline? And because I think a case can be made about Gilbert potentially. I feel like he might get he can probably get a shot in right field to start out with.
I think Tidwell is the most likely.
Tidwell too, yeah.
He's already on the 40-man. He's already got major league experience.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably the first I would bet on.
Is Gilbert not in the 40?
That's why I don't think he's gonna. That's why. So that's where I think McRae and Matos have the advantage for this season.
Well, yeah, they're already on the 40.
They're on the 40. They're running out of options. McRae's got one more year, so there is time there. Matos is on his last year, on his last option. So they're gonna want to figure out what they've got with these guys with regular playing time. Gilbert has not been added yet because he was a 2022 draft pick. He's in the same situation as Carson Wisenhunt.
Got it.
And Reggie. So they're college players that were drafted. This is their third year. They have to be added to be protected from the Rule 5. I guarantee you Gilbert will be added this offseason. They will not put him up for the Rule 5. But he's not on the 40 currently. So that's why it's like, are you going to add him to burn one of his options when it's a little different with him than like, I feel like with a guy like Bryce, you're kind of looking at him like, this guy, we're going to call him up. We're never going to send him back down. Obviously that's the hope and the mindset. I'm not sure they have that confidence with a guy like Gilbert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he's older, more seasoned. So, because we've seen too frequently some of these guys that aren't, they come up, they struggle, they ship them back down. So I don't know if they want to burn an option with a month and a half, 2 months left.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Luciano's on the outside looking in. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's just super congested with the outfield, and that's why we were advocating for the Yaz trade. I mean, like we've said for quite some time, he's a safe floor option. He's ideally a fourth outfielder on a contending team. And for the Giants, I mean, you're a 500 team, and he's not elevating you. And especially after the skid they took in July, we wanted to see some of these younger players get an extended look for the reasons described. You got Matos as last option here, McRae with one option you're left, Luciano, who's still, you can be gone next year. You want to get an extended look at some of these guys before you lose them. So it's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I love that Koss is back. Yeah, I'm happy for that as well.
I could go without watching Wisely.
Exactly.
I'm glad Koss is back. Much better quality. As far as
absolutely,
Jack asked any views on what happened on Locked On Giants. Honestly, I don't really know much other than I saw Kaspik's doing his own thing now, which good for him. Good luck to him. And I have no clue what's going on with Locked On Giants beyond that. I think that Eric Engel might maybe take. I think he does some of their shows or helps there, so I'm not sure.
I focus on us and I support the homies.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up one last thing someone was asking.
Alex, my pleasure.
Was he on the 40? I'm trying to double check with Rodriguez, but I don't believe he's on the 40 right now. Maybe they did add him.
What, Nick? Just keeping it a buck. As far as the cost wisely comparison, I mean, just to touch on that a little bit since we're talking about it in the chat. Wisely's frustrating to watch at times because you saw, the last few games that he played had a pretty, nice couple timely hits, but then there's times he just goes ghost for weeks at a time. Koss, I think he's got really good bat to ball skills. He can at least make contact. A little bit of a versatile defender as far as the infield is concerned. I don't know. You're not going to get elite production out of either one of them, but if you're looking as far as like who you might be able to get a little bit better at bats or production from in general on a consistent basis, I'd probably lean towards Koss a little bit, but it's still it's kind of a low bar. So
it's kind of 6 one way, half dozen the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, my feelings on them is Koss is just a better defender. And the at bats were pretty decent for a couple of weeks before he got injured. So I'm willing to see if he can keep producing solid at bats off the bench. And if anything, he play defense. It's not necessarily a spot you're not looking to upgrade in the future. Like this is a spot they absolutely should be bringing in competition, bring in a vet in the off season, in my opinion. It remains to be seen with Casey as an example at second base, if he's going to take hold of that second base job going into next season and you're going to feel really confident about it, or if they're going to look to upgrade second base. Casey's run into a little bit of bad luck. It feels like recently he's been absolutely scorching a few balls that have been just finding mitts. So, we'll see where he ends up at the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, with Koss and Wisely, like, I just think Koss has been the better player this season.
Plain and simple.
From what I've seen, Wisely was not playing well in AAA before he came up. So he's had a couple moments in San Francisco while he's been up. He's had he's looked a lot like the guy I saw in AAA. A couple boneheaded, mistakes. I'm not going to hold that too hard against him. I watched Fitzgerald and Ramos make those on the regular. So
yeah,
I can't sit there and harp on Wisely too bad for getting picked off a couple times. But when you're not providing a bunch of other value and you do that, that's how you end up getting sent back down.
Absolutely. I want to skim through these. A lot of questions came up in the last 30 seconds really quick. German Rottweiler. Yes, we talked about the Doval trade. If you want to go back maybe like 20, 25 minutes, you could probably get the full gist of it. What's going to happen with Fitz? Who knows? He's still learning how to hit and catch. We're going to talk about second baseman, include Meckler. Don't say that, Adi. Thoughts on Johnny Level? I was just going to get that one too. We're hyped, man. I'm
hyped to watch San Jose in general. I'm telling anybody that's down there, Dakota's still hanging out down there. We'll see how much longer, but I would highly recommend getting down to a San Jose Giants game. That is probably the best product in their system right now, like as far as talent goes.
Absolutely.
Especially if Dakota's there. We'll see if Carlos Gutierrez goes back down there, if they end up promoting either of those guys up to Eugene, which they should. But between Jordan, Level, Hipwell, CO, Martin, I mean, I'm trying to think of, because a few people like Xander and Jacob got promoted, and Ahuna, they all got promoted, but and then on the pitching side of things, you got Jeremiah is down there too, Jenkins. On the pitching side of things, De La Torre, he's pitched 3 games, 14 scoreless in his 3 games with 19 strikeouts. They just brought up Kayama, got Jacob Bresnahan. You've got Keener Martinez is now down there. A couple other guys throwing the ball well with Mazza and Dryden. I mean, they are stacked on that roster. So.
I told you as soon as we got the news, I was like, Ricky, come home. Like, let's go to San Jose, bro. I will go and bust out my Espanol with Johnny Level. Let's go ahead and talk it up with him. Get him on the show, dude. I want to go and watch that. They are a fun team, bro. And they have been.
best record in the Cal League. It's not
Junior
even
Marte
close.
too. Yeah, not even close. Junior Marte, yeah. That was
And
another good move that we did.
Let's touch on Junior Marte.
That was next up.
Yeah, that was next up anyway. Great segue. Junior Marte, he was the player that the Giants acquired for Mike Yastrzemski, who did hit a home run in his first at bat with Kansas City. I thought that was kind of hilarious. Also, looked really weird in a Royals uniform. I'm just gonna say it.
Very weird.
It's just not. It's gonna take some getting used to. Even as somebody that was like, it's time. He was a good Giant. He came here. He was never the problem. Never really felt like he individually was the problem. Felt like it was more just the organization not being willing to upgrade from him was my main gripe, but he's been a solid player. He's going to probably continue to be a solid player. You know what you're going to get out of him. But for a team that was, constantly chasing 80 wins, not the place for him. Yes, exactly. But what they got for Marte, which for a rental Mike Yastrzemski, who's not having his best year right now. I mean, he's got a sub 700 OPS, average around 230, had only hit 8 homers this season prior to getting traded. Not the greatest year for him, but they got the 20th ranked prospect from, or was it 20th or 19th? Sorry, I gotta flip my page here.
It was 20, I believe.
Yeah.
Can I just say, since everyone's talking about Yaz in the uniform, he looked like one of those generic create your own players in MLB The Show when I saw him today, dude. Yeah. He looks like one of those default players you'd add from the free agency, like a random name. So I just want to point that out. I was like, he looks weird.
That's hilarious. See, my note says he might have been number 15. I don't know. I saw all over the place as far as what he was ranked.
I think MLB had him ranked at 20.
Okay. So we'll go. I think, Baseball America is what I put. 15th.
15th. Yeah.
There you go. Had him at 15th. MLB had him at 20th. He is currently on MLB. He's ranked at 25th in the Giants system. He is an A-ball. He's 21 years old. They did assign him to San Jose. He was also an international signee back in 2022. I'm going to share his stuff because some of this I think is a little bit criminal. Fastball, they gave him a 55 grade, slider 55, and curveball 45. Not curveball, changeup 45. But then you watch some of this, and I mean, look at the movement on some of these pitches, especially his changeup. This has got some that's like a power sink right there with his fastball. But when he throws his changeup, you're going to see it here in like a pitch or two.
It's like a wiffle ball, bro.
Yeah, it's got. I think that actually might have been it.
Oh,
there's a fastball. I like this angle on this. That's the changeup right there. To me, that is not a 45 grade changeup.
No, not at all.
Maybe the command is a little off with it, but it's just that's what I saw with him. He's got pretty good stuff, pretty lanky. I think the command, you see that delivery is probably going to be a bit spotty at times, if I had to guess. But overall, this season, he's actually been very, he has commanded it pretty well. 8.67 Ks per 9, 2.2 walks per 9, 0.44 home runs per 9, 82 pitches. Has got a 2.74 ERA and an 0.99 WHIP. So
good stuff.
Yeah, they got some exciting arms with these trades.
JP is going to have fun with Marte. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, all in all, like we kind of mentioned, they didn't necessarily pull any one name in that's like, hey, we're going to hang our hat on this name at the deadline. Mm-hmm. But it felt like they got a lot of solid players and guys with some upside. And that's what you got to hope for. I mean, yeah, we wanted more with Doval, but especially with Rogers and Yaz, I felt like they got the better end on those deals.
Yeah. Because
those guys weren't going to help them win this season at this point in their expiring deals. And with Rogers, I wouldn't even be shocked if Rogers is back in the Giants bullpen next season.
Definitely wouldn't shock me.
So, yeah.
For a soft sell, exactly, Miss B. I think that's kind of the conclusion that Cody and I both had with this. It was pretty impressive haul for a soft sell. And as I mentioned earlier, you're not completely thrown in the towel for the season,
Mhm.
and you're setting yourself up for success long term as far as the organization is concerned. So, definitely impressive overall.
Yeah. We've got, this might be the first time I've ever actually seen this, but we have over 500 of you watching right now, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome. I think I've only ever seen this many like once or twice, and it was like
This is a record for us, just to be
one.
keep it real.
I think one was when Burns signed with the Diamondbacks, and we just happened to be live when it happened.
We hit like 502 or 503 on that
Yeah.
one. So this is a show record. Just you guys are witnessing history.
Yeah. Shout out Ryan. He's
Shout
he's
out
been
producer
reposting
Ryan
us all over.
and
So,
Glenn Kuiper. He produced.
Glenn.
He shared as well. So shout out to you guys.
Yep. But that said, for those of you that do enjoy it, please do hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all that good stuff. It helps with the channel growth. We are going to do a giveaway when we hit 2,000. I think we're about 118 away right now. So make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share it with your friends. Do all the good stuff. We do our live shows usually every Thursday night is our in-season, schedule. During the off season, sometimes we have them on different days. We usually aim for like a Thursday or Friday night. We're going to be having a ton of player interviews this coming off season. We've got a lot of guys down in the minor leagues, especially, that have already told us that they want to jump on and, help all of you guys get to know them a little bit more. Some guys that you've already seen, I'm sure we'll probably get Jacob back. I'm sure you guys will see Hipwell and Bresnahan and some of those fellas, but we're working on getting a lot of these guys. So definitely
There'll be a lot.
Yeah. And
there may
guys,
be one or two guys on the actual 26-man roster that might be on this offseason. So
we are hoping.
Fingers crossed. But if all goes well, we'll have at least two of them.
Yeah. 100%. So
yes, sir. Kawhi.
Taiwanese Mafia.
I'm hyped, bro.
Oh, Nick, you're killing me, bro.
Being a mod count is 2 entries for the giveaway.
Addy, you already won one, didn't you?
Addy, I think you did. If you keep doing a good job, I'll send you an EYD hoodie once it gets colder.
Yeah. If Matos gets traded, I might just give away that ball.
The one that he signed for your daughter.
It's sitting. It's that one right there.
There you go.
It's one of those. I said, hey, I have a Bochi one up there, but that's gonna be like 10K or 5K or that's gonna be a
so many to count. I've got at least like 40 or 50 in the storage, so I gotta go through all of them.
Yeah.
Give some of those away to you guys. 100%. You hope my favorite player does well. Thank you, Jenny. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm counting on him.
We still want to see the Giants win.
Absolutely.
This would be like the best of everything. Would be Giants, the Giants get out of some of these expiring deals. They beef up the farm system a little bit, just strengthen it a little bit, and then they go on a run with the kids. That would be like sick. The most ideal thing ever, especially if either a McRae or a Matos, or even if they do decide to bring up Gilbert or Luciano, whatever it is. Like if one of those guys shows up and just breaks out, and like them and Casey break out, and you go on a run like that, it could not be a more ideal situation.
Yeah.
If Rodriguez cements himself as the closer, if all those things, which, by the way, I don't know if any of you saw on X, not to toot my own horn here, but I'm going to toot my own horn.
Everyone give Cody props. Ready for this?
I feel like you've got to get, I have to put the GIF on there because it's just classic, but let's see.
He definitely keeps receipts.
Check the date.
April. Yes, sir.
Bang.
Bang.
I also have my other one on there somewhere. That's the Landon Roop is one of their 3 best starters that I sent in spring training.
Yep, and he's number 3. So,
Yes, sir.
I want to go through a couple of these that I started real quick. Firstly, for anyone that didn't see, well, also I wanted you would have laughed at this, Cody, because you said this exact same thing in the green room. Word for word, Cody told me this because I was watching the Pirates Rockies game. Dude, it was 9-0 Pirates, and the Rockies came back and won 17-16. That's insane. And walked it off. That's crazy, bro. That's like how many runs the Giants scored all month of July.
I don't think they even scored that many. Are we talking combined between the two teams? Because I definitely did not score that many. Actually, you know what? The Braves kind of threw for a couple games. It kind of carried them.
See, it's close.
Yeah.
Ryan, if you could get Roop, wow, that would be sick. We have the receipts from 2023 where we said when Roop was coming up that we feel like he can be a great pitcher.
Hell yeah. Get Roop.
Get Roop.
I watched that guy pitch like one time, and this is actually Nick and I were having this conversation the other day, where I think it was Kayama, he's only throwing like 94, 95, and a lot of these publishers are like, oh yeah, he's only going to be like a number 3, and I'm like, every time these guys see a guy that throws like 94 to 95 mile an hour sink, they don't throw 98, and they're like, oh, this is a 3 starter at best, and it's like, I'm sorry. I get that the margin for error is a little smaller when you're throwing in the mid 90s as opposed to the high 90s, but this thought process that these guys have to be throwing 98 to be a front end starter is completely ridiculous. Now, Root probably is like an ideally like a number 3, but if he tightens up his command, I mean, we saw how good Kyle Hendricks was for a couple of years throwing 90.
Absolutely.
So like he has that ability, and I see like guys like Kayama and some of these other guys that have just nasty sinkers, and Logan Webb's out there throwing 92 to 94 most of the time, and I don't think anybody's sitting there saying, oh, Logan Webb's a 3. Like maybe he's not an ace of aces, but he's definitely like a 1B. So I just, that's one thing with scouting. I hate that nowadays, that every time you see a guy that doesn't throw in the high 90s, they'll cap him as like a back end starter.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. Or hyped on him. Like Adi pointed out, he might not sit down if we do an hour-long interview. He'd be walking around, fidgeting. That'd be funny. Let me go through a couple more of these really quick. This is a good one since this came up today. Since we kind of covered the trade deadline breakdown, so now we're just going on reading chat. So, guys, if you have any questions or any comments or anything, drop them in the chat. We'd be happy to answer some. Let's say Wilmer goes on the IL, which is definitely a possibility. He hurt his hamstring tonight, they said. Which seems more probable at this point? Like, who do you replace him with? Probably Harber, if we're being real. Reason being, this is day 18 of his rehab assignment, and most times those cap out at about 20 days. So I'm sure a lot of the fan base would want to see Luciano, but realistically speaking, you're probably going to see Harber.
Yeah. That would be my prediction.
No.
For the exact same reason. He's on day 18. And really, I mean, you look at what Harber, I know he just hit a homer today. I think he had like a double and a home run in Sacramento today. Like he's been swinging it a little better. And let's see where he's at currently, because I want to say he's hitting like 300. 3 for 4 with a home run, a double, 3 ribbies.
Yep. Jenny Koss is already back. He came up for Wisely. So Wisely was sent back down. So yeah, if Wilmer goes down tomorrow, you're most likely going to see Harber. But I know a lot of us want to see Lucy. It's just due to rehab assignment and the length he's been on there, it just makes sense.
You know what I did not have on my bingo card today?
What's that?
Wade Meckler threw someone out today out of the outfield.
Did he? He got an assist.
Laser.
That's his first one since T-ball. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, No, Harar's hitting 317 with a 975 OPS. No matter how ugly it looked when he was here for like a week earlier in the year, he's gonna be the guy that comes up. So
yeah, realistically, it's what's gonna happen. Mackler with the absolute cannon of an arm. If by cannon you mean angel hair pasta of an arm, sure.
Hey, maybe one of those little air cannons.
There you go. Whatever happened to Keaton Wynn, who knows and who cares? Yeah, he got hurt and fell off the face of the earth. So
he's still on the 40 man. He survived the trade.
I don't know how he survived, bro.
I think he only survived because Sean Jelly was there.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
I was actually shocked that they dumped Ragsdale over Wynn. Yeah. I thought Wynn would be the one there. So
we both did. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Partly with Harari sitting lefties down there. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat when he was up here last. So,
dude, that one game where he made the last out, and I think the tying run was in scoring position, and he absolutely, it was like his first game back, and he roasted one to the right side, and there was only one defender over there, and he hit it like right into his face. And I'm like, that has got to piss you off so much. If that's
exactly. Greg, what's up? Yes, sir. Do you see where the viewer count is right now? I don't want to keep pointing it out, but my god. Yeah, bro.
599.
Let's see if we get one more person. Let's see. Ready?
Do I need to turn my TV on and
imagine
just put it on up there. Just to say we made it to 600.
I know, right?
Yeah, Jenny's doing the Lord's work down here.
Jenny, here. Hey, we hit it. Let's go. And it wasn't one of us.
And it was, yeah. No, I turned on my phone.
Imagine. You guys have to do a live dance. You might get a caveman dance one of these days.
Yeah.
There are some highlights too, though. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Black and orange now. Come on. I wore my Steve Young jersey. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Hey, someone, you know what? Somebody, let me see if I can scroll far enough back in the chat here, because somebody at the very beginning did ask, and I thought I flagged it, and I must have undone that. Somebody, here we go. Bueller.
Caveman, we now know where we ate. All right. 600, Ricky's back. Can you give us the too long dinner read from Wednesday's show? Yeah, go for it, Cody.
Yeah, so from Wednesday's show, obviously we talked the Tyler Rogers trade. I'm assuming there's probably a couple people here that didn't watch the whole thing. The short version of this would be they got Tidwell, a right-handed pitcher, on the 40 man already. He's got a little bit of experience in the majors, most of it, quite a bit of experience in AAA. And then they also got an outfielder in Drew Gilbert, who's in AAA, high contact, lots of line drives, pretty flat-ish swing from what I've seen. Maximizes his power because he pulls the ball at an insane rate. But you can see him driving line drives both into the gap down the line. He'll be a guy that it'll be really interesting to see how the defensive alignment in Oracle is. And he definitely has the power to put one off the bricks, get one up on the arcade.
Absolutely.
If he really spins on one, you probably see him put one in the cove, but he's not going to be a big time home run guy. He's going to be, maybe 12 to 15 would be my guess. They do talk about him as potentially he may end up needing to be platooned. I don't like talking about a 24-year-old that way. Personally, I feel like that you can still develop at that age and improve against lefties, but that is kind of how he's referred to right now. But both are guys that are in the upper levels that, could impact the team as early as this season. They're probably counting on it more for next season. So that's kind of the short version. Tidwell has some pretty good stuff. A couple different movements on his slider, has a changeup that's a work in progress, fastball, sinker, whatever you want to call it, that runs to 96, 97. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Great value for a reliever, a non-closer expiring deal.
Yeah, exactly. New York team's really loving Giants this trade deadline. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I think Tidwell, you'll probably see this year.
Yeah. With him being on the 40, like I feel pretty confident in that. With Gilbert, I mean, if Matos and McRae just completely faceplant, maybe we get a September call-up. I don't know. But
that's like you said, really dependent on what's currently on the 40, though.
Yeah.
If they're making a push and you're getting absolutely zero production out of right field, then yes, then I could see that.
Yeah.
What's up, Ryan? So you had the badge too. Oh, and for Frelick, a little bit more publicity. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I feel like if Jenny wants it, she can be a mod because she does more work than we do on getting
I was gonna say, Jenny, you should be a mod if you want. Seizu's not in our 40. I don't know.
I did not find him on the 40.
I didn't see him either, but wasn't he on the Yankees 40? Yeah. I thought he was too, Nick. I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at here. Y'all tell me if I'm just blind, which is possible. My wife likes to tell me I have man eyes. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
So let me share the screen. You all tell me if I'm just blind and missing him. But we've got all the pitchers. Unless they misplace him, he's not going to be in there. Catchers, we just have Bailey and Kisner currently. I'm not seeing him under infielders because he plays third base too.
Yeah, I'm sitting up for this. Let's see.
And
no, negative.
Yeah. So I'm not seeing it. If he is, if he was on the Yankees though, he would have had to have been.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe we're just seeing a mirage, Nick. Yeah. I don't. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Addie.
Jenny's going to teach the mods.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We really do.
Nick says they might have a 7-day period to make move. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I know a lot of stuff as far as processes and procedures for baseball and tax situations and penalties and all that, but I can't say I necessarily know the timing always on those things.
Guys, I listen from Australia, but what sources of Giants pods do you listen to with EYD from SF-based info? So I forget top info on Giants every day or so. Jack, if you want the honest truth, the three of us pretty much live, breathe, and eat Giants, everything, top to bottom. You can follow Cody at EYDShow on X, and you can follow sfgiantscove on Instagram. You're going to get consistent updates like moment of when stuff happens, and we verify everything directly. So don't want to hype ourselves up too much, but we get a lot of the info directly from the sources, especially in the system. Like we'll go to the players directly. So
yeah, especially with injuries, we try and
exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes I can play the, Bryce Eldridge, perfect example. And he's actually one they reported probably just because it's Bryce. But with Bryce, when Bryce was playing the game that he pulled his hamstring, he pulled up lame into second base, and I watched the trainer literally point, like the trainer motioned to the dugout, like grabbing his right hamstring. And I'm like, yeah, all right. He's going to be out for 3 weeks probably. But yeah, I mean, like Jacob got dinged up, Carlos, we just found out from those guys what was the deal and why they were going to be out a little bit. And yeah, I agree with Ryan here. Check out all these guys. They're great. I've been on with Dan. I haven't done anything with Marty or Glenn yet. We're still working out, trying to make it happen with Glenn, but yeah, they're all good stuff. Check them all out.
Great guys.
Great people. So make sure you're connected and tapped in with those in particular. Yeah.
Like I mentioned, those are the homies. We'll absolutely shout out the homies, but
yeah. And I honestly, we just read the tea leaves a lot.
Yeah.
I watch, it's hard with Buster. There's no track record there as far as how they, how long they want players to stay down, how long they want. But I mean, I've been pretty dead on a lot of stuff this year, and it's just been paying attention. So we're not going to bat 100. We're not batting 1,000 on this. No one is. Even all the mainstream people that cover the team, they're going to tell you, hey, this is happening, and then it doesn't. Sometimes, it just is what it is. Sometimes the team zigs when you think they're going to zag, and But I'm not going to sit here and pretend I have a bunch of sources that are going to give you insider info. It's a lot of just reading the tea leaves on our end.
Absolutely. Addy, to answer your question, it's a little tricky to do that, but what I will say is I do have communication with the San Jose Giants GM, and he told me how to get credentials. Obviously, they let us on the field and talk with the players in San Jose, but I can make it happen at least for the lower levels. So I'll put it that way.
I don't think they're going to ever give us a media credential for the Giants.
Not the Giants.
We criticize the team too much for them to probably be willing to do that, which it is what it is. I've always said that I'm not here to try and chase a media credential. I'm just here to give my 2 cents, and I'm always going to call it how I see it. So they don't always like that.
I won't say, I won't drop any names, but we definitely won't be like some particular bigger names that just praise every single little thing. We're not afraid to critique when it's necessary. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Is what it is. Part of the game, What would Greg say?
Giants Nation is too sentimental.
Also business. Business. 100%.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. We are working on we do want to work on some stuff about as far as trying to get to like Papa Go and see, get to some like the complex league, get to things like that in the future. So we're hoping to bring different content down the road where we can go to more games, send videos from the games, things like that. Yeah. Occasionally we've been able to do stuff like that, but it's not too frequent because, but yeah, we're looking at different things that we can kind of bring everybody. Try and do some interviews from those to get firsthand looks at some of the guys that you don't get to see as much. I mean, even if you have the MILB and you watch San Jose, Eugene, Richmond, you don't get to see the guys that are in Arizona. So unless you want to watch on like the grainy GoPro that's somewhere up in like Camelback Mountain or whatever, shooting down on the field. So
I will say that little idea we're not going to talk about, but that idea we have planned for next year, that'll definitely be a fun one if everything goes to plan. So you guys will be in for a treat. We'll just put it that way.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know which idea you were talking about.
There's a few, but the big one, yeah.
Because I'm like, we can ask them their opinion on the whole.
That's a different thing. Well, we'll wait on that, I think.
Yeah, once we have it figured out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think if you guys have any other questions you want to ask us, slap it on in there as fast as you can, because we're
drop them in
up here in a few minutes.
I was gonna say I got a second win, so feel free to ask away. I had like I don't know a gallon and a half of blood taken out of me today, so I was pretty loopy for a bit, but I got a second win. I'm ready.
Meanwhile, I'm over here with like dry eyes and feel like I probably sound half asleep.
Greg says, EYDs, you're the best podcast that we have. Critical, rational, logical. I do not believe I've ever disagreed big picture with Cody or Caveman Dan. Ricky, too. Wow, thanks for the compliment, Greg. It's
even really nice Ricky.
I was going to say, even me? Have you seen my ex?
Yeah, hey, make sure all of you go follow you changed your name.
I did. Do you like it?
I did, yeah.
It's at Caveman Dan EYD.
Dan's gonna try and get me blocked by more people that cover the team.
Yeah, I kept the channel out of the bio.
Yeah.
So every day I go on X, I'm not even joking. I'm blocked by more and more people. So if you guys want laughs, go look at my, my page.
Dan's goal is just a troll on X.
But it's
do
like,
not take him seriously. You do it for
yeah.
the laughs. You don't take it seriously. You take everything he says with a grain of salt. Sometimes it's serious. Usually it's not. He's usually just trying to throw a chaos grenade into Giants X and just watch everybody squirm and get all upset and worked up over nothing while he laughs. And
it's funny because I'll make a post and then I'll send it to the guys and I'll just be like, watch this.
Yeah.
So, can I ask a question? Ask away, Greg. But yeah, don't feel like you have to follow me, guys. I don't have a X to get clout. I do this to support Cody and Ricky. But I don't know how I get a ton of engagement though. So
Dan gets the most engagement you've ever seen out of someone with like 200 followers.
Yeah.
Like regular engagement.
Like hundreds per post. And I'm like, bro, how?
Dude, you were at like 90 followers at one point, getting like thousands of likes on posts. And I was like, what is happening?
I don't know, man. That's just, I don't know.
Hilarious.
I do it for fun. So don't take it too serious.
It's like when I did the Jung-Hoo Lee Ohtani thing in the middle of April.
Oh my gosh.
I pissed off the entire Dodgers fan base. And I was like, guys, take a joke.
You pissed off the whole city of LA, bro.
Yeah. It's like, dude. Of course he's not better than Ohtani. Calm down.
All right, I need to reel this in a little bit. The two things here I want to touch on. I'll get to George's in 1 second. Daniel, what can we expect from Tang tomorrow? We're expecting 15 strikeouts, perfect game. Nothing but perfection from the legend Kai Tang. No, but seriously, I'd be happy with 5 quality innings. 2 or 3 runs and a handful of strikeouts. I would be very, very pleased with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he gives you 5 and gives up 3 or less, I'm gonna just call that a win.
Absolutely.
At that point, okay, I'll say this: Kai Tang, 2023. They added him after the year onto the 40-man, and he deserved it. Like he showed quite a bit, threw the ball well in a very tough PCL. And had some pretty intriguing stuff. And then last season, I don't know what happened to him, but he like fell apart at every level. Couldn't throw strikes, couldn't get guys out, just completely melted down. They dropped him obviously off. They DFA'd him. He stayed within the system. No one ended up picking him up. And this season, he has kind of turned it back to what he looked like at the end of 2023, especially the last month and a half, where he's got a really good slider in particular, and the fastball runs around mid-90s, and he gets a ton of whiffs with it. So will it translate to the majors? Who knows? It's hard to really know, but he's earned it. I mean, like I'll openly sit here and say that he has earned the promotion back to San Francisco and another look, and we'll just see how it goes. I mean, I wish well on any player that puts on the orange and black. We want to see them win games. We don't want to see the team suck.
Absolutely.
We might enjoy some rants here and there when the team stinks, but we want to see them all succeed at the end of the day.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So we'd be pleased with that tomorrow. Let's circle back to George. What do you think Buster has to do this offseason to make this roster contender for the playoffs?
Ask me at the end of September when I see what some of these young guys do.
Exactly. That's
I would say they're going to need at least minimum one more starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need at least minimum one arm in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I mean like acquiring externally. They have internal options for a lot of these things. And then they need to figure out right field and second base. And I mean, potentially catcher too, but I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. That's I don't need to start that one. They're going to just stick with Bailey, at least for the time being. I don't see any changes happening there until he starts getting more expensive. Unless he actually does improve with the bat. But right now, I think right field and second base are the big question marks, and DH. Now, granted, I think the consensus is that Bryce is going to take either DH or first base, and then Devers will do the other. But yeah, I mean, you never know until Bryce is actually up and doing it. You never know, and he's kind of the wild card of all this, because if he does blossom into this, left-handed masher that's got like 40 home run potential and is just a complete difference maker in the middle of your lineup, it can change everything. Suddenly it might not look that bleak, if you add that into your lineup. But that's a lot of expectations on a rookie. I don't have that kind of expectations on him next season. I do think he'll be an improvement if he's in the lineup over what we've put out, especially once he adjusts to the league, which he has done at every level so far. But I think right field and second base, and maybe Casey takes over second and doesn't let go of that. We'll see.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think if you're looking at it from a roster perspective, hopefully second base is now solidified. I mean, you can definitely use some depth there. But if you're talking starting positions, right field is absolutely the biggest need on this team. And I mean, you might be able to get a little bit flexible there. But I think that's definitely going to be the biggest need. And then pitching, you need a starting pitcher, you need a reliever, plain and simple. So we'll see what they do this offseason. But I mean, just aside from the roster, you got to take a serious look at this coaching staff. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I mean, Coda's reaction says it all. I know a lot of you guys feel the same. You got to take a serious look at this coaching staff and evaluate, the weaknesses, the flaws, and address those as such. So
I don't even know how I didn't think about the coaching staff, because frankly, this team's playing, they're at 500 right now.
Yeah.
They're on an 81 win pace. This team is so much more talented than the teams they trotted out the last 2 years, where they won 79 and 80 games. There's no way in hell this team should be winning 81 games this season.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could make an argument that the 2023 team probably overperformed their talent when they were trotting Conforto off an injury, and JD Davis was like their best offensive player for months. And they were getting whatever they got out of Blake Sable and all this stuff. Like we could sit there and say, oh, that team overperformed expectations, but they still won 79 games. And this team is so much more talented than that team. And I mean, I wasn't a Gabe Kapler fan. I still am not a Gabe Kapler fan as a manager. I felt like I can't get behind any manager that sat there and his personal way of communicating was text messaging in a clubhouse. I can't get behind that, but the reality is he got more out of less talent than Bob Melvin has. Yeah. So it's rough. And the only people I would want to keep around actively is JP Martinez and the pitching coaches. Mm-hmm. The rest of them, I wouldn't lose any sleep over.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So yeah, you got to take a serious look at that. Let me read a couple of these really quick. There's a few that we need to go through. Don't mention that name. I apologize, Alex. That is not the name we speak of. You're old enough to remember Giants Twitter being mad about signing Chapman. Yeah, dude. I used to moderate and work with Bleacher Report as far as their community is concerned. That's how me and Cody actually met. And all the time, dude, I would see people saying, oh, JD's just as good as Chapman. It's like, where's he at now, bud? So
I never understood the JD over Chapman one. Like,
I thought it was trolling at first, but it was a legit thing.
When they were talking about getting Chapman for a long-term deal, I was like, I still had a lot of belief in Casey.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm fine with rolling with JD, who's going to give you some decent offense, but I mean, nowhere near the defense or the overall value. I was like, he'll hit a little bit and then just bridge the gap to Casey. I was cool with that, but I'm like, thinking JD Davis is better than or is basically Chapman-ish is insane.
Yeah, dude.
Like, no.
Yeah, it was insanity. Palmel communicates via fax.
Snail mail.
Snail mail. Either fax or a pager.
Fucking pager. God.
Caveman Dan, he gets engagement because he's a pimp. All right. Thank you for that, Greg.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Let me see. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about really quick. This one, because Greg asked nicely for us to answer. Who do you think makes the AL and NL championship series? Are you talking about who's going to play in the CS or who's going to advance to the World Series from that? I think Detroit has a good chance.
I'm going to look at let me pull up the standings. Hold on.
Big pimpin'. Alex, do you remember me from BR? For real? That's the trip. Yeah, I moderated and worked with Bleacher Report for like 3 years.
I tried.
He did. I tried to get Cody in.
And then they didn't want me. And then I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go start a YouTube channel. Screw you guys.
And it all worked out for the best. Now look at us.
Okay, so looking at the leagues right now, I'm gonna open up the wild card standings to make this look easier.
Go for it.
On my eyes. It didn't actually make it any easier. I don't like Toronto to get to the ALCS. I don't think they have enough pitching. Detroit can deal. I wouldn't be shocked. Houston always seems to play well in October. On the AL, I'm gonna go the little guys here. And when I say that, I mean like the smaller markets. I'm gonna go Seattle and Detroit.
Seattle, really? Okay. They did make. I think
their pitching has not been healthy for most of the year, and they're kind of hanging in there. I feel like they're going to make the wild card, and then I think they're going to go on a little bit. I think if the pitching gets healthy, I think they're going to go on a run.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think Detroit's going to advance no matter what.
Yeah, but honestly, if you told me it was like Yankees Astros, I'd been like, yeah, well, that
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. National League. So the National League is really where it's, for me, up for grabs. If the Dodgers pitching gets like fully healthy and starts dealing, like if Snell turns into second half Snell at some point, if he ever shows up, I think he was pitching rehab. He actually pitched in rehab against the River Cats like a week and a half ago. But if their pitching figures it out, like they're gonna be a tough out. But that said, didn't Milwaukee go 6-0 against them?
They did.
And the Phillies have great pitching. The Mets now have a really solid pitching staff, top to bottom. I don't like their starting pitching as much as I like the Phillies, or I would say as much as I like the Phillies pitching staff, but their bullpen's really good.
Yeah.
Who else we got? The Cubs are still right there. The Padres. I mean, the Padres just added a whole bunch of teams or a bunch of players. God, the NL is hard.
It's definitely up for grabs.
I feel like the Mets are going to be in the CS.
I could see it.
I feel like their bullpen, they're going to score. And I feel like their bullpen is going to shorten games. And as long as their starters don't just completely fall apart, I feel like they're gonna be a really hard out.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict the Dodgers not to be in it.
Unfortunately,
I don't want to predict a repeat of last season, but it wouldn't shock me.
I don't want to see them make it though.
I just want the Mets to win if that's the series again.
But I got to pick one or the other. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think the Cubs have enough. They're solid, but I'm not. Maybe this is the year the Padres knock off LA. I don't know.
Anybody but LA. Yeah, that's our answer.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. Tom has it right there. That is the correct answer. Anybody but the stinking Dodgers. It's only
Dan, what jersey are you wearing? It looks like a Kyle Pitts jersey. Definitely not Kyle Pitts. It is Steve Young on a throwback.
Dude, that does kind of look like a Falcons.
It does.
Not gonna lie. Alex says, what are you guys
That's
talking about? Giants
fantasy
are gonna win a
football
World Series.
PTSD.
Dude, Addy, join the club, man. Dan, didn't you
Oh,
have Pitts too? Was it you and I?
yeah, I got him in my dynasty league.
We were in different leagues, and we both had Kyle Pitts, and we both suffered through the Kyle Pitts experience all season, and it was miserable. I finally cut the dude like week
You
9. I was like, I
did.
refuse to deal with this every week.
I
I'm
tried to
tired of him.
believe, bro. I tried to believe, and I would text Cody because I still had him, and I was like, I was just bummed watching Red Zone.
Yeah.
He was like, I feel your pain, bro.
I went and picked up like a backup tight end and was starting him over Kyle Pitts. I was like, I refuse to put that guy in my lineup.
But he had someone like Ross Dwelly lining up instead.
I'm like, at least I know this guy's going to get me 2 catches for 16 yards. Done with the goose eggs. Oh, man.
I throw back hard. Appreciate it, JR.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't really have anything else. Guys, we hit 700 viewers. Our record before was just a hair. We're 500. You guys got 200 more viewers shipped than we've ever gotten on the show. So honestly, we really, really appreciate it. The chat's been popping. The engagement's been great. The questions have been awesome. So for a show where Cody and I had a combined energy level of about a 3.5 out of 10. You guys really showed up to carry it tonight, so we really appreciate it. So you guys, anyone on X, before we hop off, come over to YouTube, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, follow Cody on X at EYDShow. If you want to follow me, you can, but just brace yourself. Caveman Dan EYD. And be sure to follow Ricky on Instagram at sfgiantscove. He puts a lot of work into that channel, or that page, I should say. So 3 of us, we work our tails off for the show. So especially this guy right here. He grinds literally day and night. I'm not even exaggerating. So
got to get those highlights, man. Got to get those minor league highlights. Like to share them with everyone. I know a lot of people are down on the Giants system. I'll continue to say that it is not as bad as people think. Not saying it's great, but it's not as bad as people think. Yeah. And I like sharing the love on those guys. I like getting them out to Giants fans. I feel like it's the most represented or undermarketed part of baseball is the kids on the farm. It's improved in the last couple of years, but it's still not great. And I just want Giants fans to kind of know that next wave of talent. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I don't got anything else for you guys unless you guys don't.
Did Luciano go yard again today?
Did he hit another one? I know he hit one yesterday. It was a moonshot.
Yeah, he hit a literal moonshot yesterday. It was like 41-degree launch angle.
Dude.
I don't know. That thing would have left an elevator and it still got out in Albuquerque. Okay.
The one yesterday, what was the distance on it?
I 416.
Yeah, I was like 416, 418, but I was like, that looked like it went way farther. I think it was just Albuquerque, so high.
Though. So it's an elevation. So
whatever.
Still. I mean,
who will win ALCS, NLCS? Greg, we kind of talked about that earlier. If you want to scroll back about 10 minutes, we went over that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have anything else unless anyone else in the chat does, or unless you do. We talk about Dustin May and Red Unis. I haven't seen it. I gotta take a look. Kyle Pitts first.
I almost made a comment about Dustin May, but I'm just gonna not. I'll make it in the green room afterward. Yeah, Nick, it's a damn shame that he's gonna probably blossom for another franchise.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, like Tom just said, might be a little too late.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate all of you guys hopping in. We're gonna
call it a night.
Yeah, we're gonna call it before you literally see me face down sleeping on this live show. So
I can't do another 10 minutes solo if Cody falls asleep. So You'll have the rest of the show will just be us napping on here. So
yeah, pretty much. So
Addy, we
you.
appreciate you. Ryan, appreciate you. Jenny, appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
for all the modding you guys did.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Hopefully,
Rob,
I
Alex,
didn't
Tom,
see
Nick,
anything. So
thank
you
you
guys
guys.
probably either you guys did a great job or nobody was a little too rowdy today. But appreciate everybody. Go Giants. You'll catch us on
Can we
Tuesday.
get a caveman lullaby? All right, ready? I got one for you guys before we go, okay? Lullaby and good night. Kai Wei Tang's gonna pitch tomorrow. We're in for a major treat. And I don't know what rhymes with treat. Anyways, all right. Good night, everyone.
Roll credits.